I have here the Nanlite PavoTubes that I want to do a quick first impressions on, and I've been using these for about a week and I'm definitely in love with this lighting kit. So without any further ado, let's talk a little bit about what comes in this kit. Specifically, these are the 4-foot variants, and Nanlite sent these out to me for testing and review, but because I'm so excited to share this with you, I want to get into it now and talk about how awesome these lights have been in my workflow. Nanlite has this really cool carrying case that's just one zipper, and it's not like a open up tote bag or anything like that. It unfolds, so it's a really clever use of this zipper. So as we get to this end, see how the zipper goes down and around, then terminates there. On this side, it does the same thing, around, and then this opens like such. Then there are 6 compartments within this rolled up tube. So one zipper allows you to get to these 6 compartments. We'll just go ahead and crack all these open, and we'll talk about what you get in this lighting kit before we actually talk about the lights themselves. First thing I pulled out are these 3 little expansion cables. These are used to link the lights together, and they're coiled, so you don't have to worry about tangling or anything like that. You will have to kind of pay attention to them getting tangled with each other, but tangling when you're stretching them out and stuff like that is non-existent. You get 8 of these heavy-duty cables that are used to mount the lights together in different orientations and stuff like that. I'll show you a little bit more about how that works in a setup that I use these cables, but they're really, really strong. I would say that you need to be careful with getting metal slivers, because I did get a couple with messing with these. You get 4 of these clamp mounts that allow you to attach the lights to 1/4-20. I'm going to put 4 of them down and show you that these clamp together like this on the light, and then you get these 2 1/4-20 threads right here that you can mount them to light stands or whatnot. And you only need 1 per light because they're really sturdy, and they're clear so the light can shine through them. Now on to powering this light set, you get 2 of these splitters. So this allows you to take 1 power brick and terminate it into 2 lights. The nice thing about this whole thing is that you can connect this to 2 lights, and then from these lights that have these connected, go out to 2 more. So you could power all 4 of these lights with 1 power brick, and that is a really nice feature. So you get 2 of these splitters. And along the lines of power bricks, you get 2 power bricks, and they come in this nice little mesh so they don't bang against the light in travel or in transit. They have these extension cables, just a standard adapter. Now moving on to the light, you get 4 of these Nanlite PavoTube 30Cs, and they are completely encompassed and manageable lights that are tubes that are RGB and have a bunch of different awesome features that I'm just gonna get to touch the tippity top of when we talk about these lights. So let's pull out all 4 of these lights and take a closer look at them. The first thing that I wanna discuss about these lights is their ability to be powered with no power connection attached. They have 2 32.5 watt-hour batteries built into each module. At 100% output, you can get about 2 hours of battery life. 50%, you can double that, and at 10%, you can get about 20 hours of output on each one of these individual lights. I will say that I did test that, and it's really close. So when I was output at 100%, I got about 2 hours of runtime. You will need to account for the charge time that is required for each one of these lights, and I would recommend that you plug each light into its dedicated power adapter and allow it to charge, because it will take about 4 hours to charge all the way up to 100%. So looking at this end of the light, there's a power button, but it's covered by this weather protection because these lights do provide a little bit of weather resistance. Now, I wouldn't run these out in the rain or anything like that, but you'll get a little bit of weather resistance with these. So you just click that on and it powers on the light. Now, looking at this end, you can see that there is this QR code because these lights are Wi-Fi capable, and I think Nanlite's going to be coming out with a smartphone application where you can pair these lights. Turning this light around to this end, you can see that there's the DC input and in and out link ports. That's where you use those link cables to link this system together. These little holes here built into the plastic are used for those link cables, so you can hang this light to other lights or off a C-stand or off a ceiling or anything like that. I will say that I wish Nanlite spent some time to allow you to turn this module here, maybe give you some sort of rotation capability right here. So when you're hanging it this way or hanging it vertically, sometimes you have to figure out a way to get the light to face forward like this. That becomes a little bit of a challenge. Nonetheless, these are what these holes are here for. and it's also used for a little bit of a buffer if you drop the light or anything like that, because it's constructed out of this really strong plastic. Nanlite did a really good job at using every part of this light. On the back, you can see that there are some specifications listed for the light. This light is rated at 95 CRI and has 2700 to 6500 Kelvin output. Moving further down the light, you can see some branding there, and here is where this thing is really masterfully put together, in my opinion. You basically have a menu manual here on how to navigate the panel over here on this end of the light. So if I turn this thing on, you can see that there's a little menu manual here, and I can navigate every part of the menu that's provided here. All the buttons have some sort of indication or documentation on that. To me is awesome, because you can give this light to an assistant or something like that, and they don't need to know exactly how to use this light because it's all documented here on the light itself. So here we have 6 buttons. You have menu, enter, CCT, RGB, HSI, and special. These lights offer the ability to do special effects like lightning, police lights, TV effects, and so on and etc. That's a really nice feature of these lights. And you navigate the menus that you're selected on with these 2 knobs here. One's used for brightness, one's used for navigating the menu system. So if I turn it back this way, this one you can kind of select through the dimness, the color, the HSI color, and all that type of stuff, because we are in HSI mode. And then we can do brightness on this one, so you dim it. And here's 100% output, which is super bright. And on this end of the module, there are also the 2 holes used for mounting, so you can mount this on this end as well. That about sums up my overview of this lighting system. So let's hop into a portion in which I talk about how I set these things up. So here's my first setup that I've done with this lighting kit. I just have the C-stand in a horizontal orientation, and I hung this lighting kit with the included cables that come with the system. And I used these middle ones to kind of keep the lights pointed forward, because these little connections are a little bit awkward when you want the lights to be facing you this way. So I just used what was included in the kit, and you can see that you can get this really nice and cool looking effect. If you want to see an example, hit the card up here. That was a video that was filmed with this as a background, and it looks absolutely amazing. So coming down here is the power end of this lighting kit, and it's all being run off a single AC adapter that's plugged into the wall, and then everything's being shared among these 2 lights. So the extensions are going from this light to that, and then from this light to that. Nanlite chose a really interesting way to indicate that these which light has the power going to it. So you see that little red indicator here? That means that the power is going directly into this light. Same here. There's a little red, it's very faint, but you can see that the power is going into each one of these lights. That's a cool indication that you know that the power is going directly into those 2 lights and being shared to these, or you could have the power going into this one and that one and shared to these 2. It's really up to you, or you could do 2 different sets using one power outlet for these and another power outlet for these, so you can spread them apart further or whatever. So far, this is one of the coolest lighting kits that I've ever had the opportunity to mess with. And let's go ahead and look at another example. So here I've set this up in kind of a custom triangle type ring light using red, green, and blue. And then I have another Pavo light sitting vertically that's at 5000 Kelvin that allows to give a little bit of normalcy to the color. I saw this set up in their promotional video in Nanlite, and I tried to recreate it. I think it would be more effective if I had a darker room. This lighting kit is literally limited to your imagination on how you want to set it up, because I have no power cables running to this setup at all. And I literally just used 3 lighting stands, and I used the mounts that are included in the case or with the package of the lights, and this is absolutely awesome. You can get some really interesting things for photography especially. And the accuracy and the non-flicker, even at really low percentages. That's one thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about these lights, that they do go from 0 to 10% dimness, and they have an effective lighting capacity at those percentages. Another thing that I also forgot to mention is that there's separate RGB lights and like white color lights when it comes to the kelvins. So you have RGB LEDs and then the white color spectrum. So it really is an awesome set. Feel free to leave me a comment down below on what you think on this setup or just about these lights in general. One thing that I forgot to talk about is that this lighting kit will also be made in a 2-foot version, and you can purchase those in addition to or just go with that system, because you can connect these things and make them a nice ecosystem and work together. Before I close, I must disclose Nanlite was kind enough to send this lighting kit out to me for testing and review. If you're interested in current pricing and availability, it will be linked in the description. Those links are my affiliate links, and shopping through those helped me out immensely without costing you anything in addition. So if you do that, it helps support the channel. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I'll catch you in the next one.